Wham gave up Bruce.
Yeah, but he got Mongols. That's not too bad. Like, Roos is stronger. Like, Roos is more flexible, but Mongols is really high prio. This draft's kind of funky, though. Like, Mullions is a final pick. I'm wondering what Wham's thought process is here. It's a bit weird because, like, sometimes you can draft yourself into a bind where when you ban something from your opponent picking it, you need to pick it eventually, right? So, like, the logic here is, like, for example, when Wham banned Delhi away from Lucifron, he could have picked it as his final pick. He didn't, though, by the way. The reason he didn't pick Delhi, those two final picks from Lucifron, nullify it. You cannot play Delhi into Japanese or Chinese. It's a disadvantage. This map pool, by the way, is funky. We've got Dry Arabia, Yawn, move on. Look at the creatives on the side there. We've got Frisian Marshes and Golden Heights. So some new faces are emerging. But game one, it's hard to see a way in which this does not favor the Roos. But hopefully Wham's going to be able to show it off to us. We get into game. Best of 3 here between Wham and Lucifron, and it kicks off with good old standard Dry Arabia. New gen, OP, how do they do fast castle at this Irobids in the hands of Wham? And Lucifron going for the tried and true Roos.
I mean, it was a tough game last game, but I can't imagine that Ayubids are going to do worse.
There will not be a worse Iobid game in the entire tournament.
You think in the entire tournament?
In the entire tournament?
I think it could happen.
Yeah, if someone like PC crashes or like the mouse unplugs, maybe. I don't know. That's
harsh.
That was a beatdown, dude. I can't. I think Kiljadi's probably like sighing after that game as well. It's sad because he's a very capable player. Like, it's nothing against Kiljadi. That was just one of the most ugly Iobid games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But let's look forward. Positivity. PMA, Winston. We're not trying. We're very.
I am being positive.
Yeah. Let's think about how Iobid's do in this matchup. Like, what are they going to do? It's probably going to just be a standard fast castle build, right?
I think you just hope that you can get more than 101 gold in the Dark Age.
We're moving on from that.
If you can get 102 gold, you're already doing
Dude,
good.
imagine Kiljadi on day 1. He's like, I wonder what the casters are talking about. He just clocks in. He's like, just hears the gold count and just clocks out and goes and cries in the corner. Poor guy.
Sorry. Oh, man. Sorry, Kiljadi. He doesn't deserve it. Very, very strong player. It's just hard. That's a hard game to watch. All right, Lucifron, though, Wham. Let's see it. House of Wisdom. Is he going with the fast stage up? Yeah, he is. Okay. Oh, no, he's building it. That's crazy.
No,
that's crazy.
It's
being built. I was like,
calm down.
That's fast.
Remember, we don't get to see the age up choice until we click on the building.
No, looks like it's going to be...
It's going to be, in this matchup,
maybe growth, but yeah.
Typically go growth wing. Desert Raiders can kind of work, but you're against a Civ that will go for archers, right? Okay, he's going to go military wing. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Reinforcements is solid, I think.
It stops the opening night, right? Like, growth wing feels really nice because you get to be a bit greedy, but this at least now, like, I think the logic why Desert Raider feels really good is now to counter that, Lucifron, he wants to open knights, but he has to add in archers. And if this turns into a Castle Age race, then that's why you usually see this Desert Raider build. Compared to Grove, Grove is like, I'm going to get there faster. But Desert Raiders, you saying you're going to get to Castle Age slower.
Yeah. Did Lucifron? Okay. He figured it out, but I think Vodka pointed out that those vills are idle for quite a while.
Wait, where? What? Was it
he had idle vills on the Hunter Cabin for a long time. Just now starting his age up.
Here's a fun thing. Even with that type of suboptimal play, Bruce still get a better than average tech uptime.
Yeah, really solid stuff for him. Yeah. But yeah, that was weird. Odd for Lucifron, where usually the build orders are so practiced and well rehearsed, right?
Yes.
You expect excellence there from a player like him, so it was a bit surprising. But, you know, little details like that aren't likely going to make or break the game. So it's not the end of the world, of course.
Bounty Hall makes up for it as well, right? He got enough for the tech up as well as wheelbarrow. That's always a good sign. So we're probably looking at, like, I want to say 210, 220 bounty at this stage, which is respectable. It's the reason why their tech timings are so egregiously ridiculous. Like, I think I've said this before in a broadcast, I stand by it, that Roos, if you were to pull all the average tech timings for Feudal Age across all civs, I think Roos would have the fastest tech average of all of them.
Interesting. So, Krumlin on the front here. Not really going to protect the hunt further to the south. interesting position there then. I think that's really solid though, right? It gets the wood line soon.
Yeah, but this, like the stone is kind of self-protected on the backside. I think is why he's doing this.
Right.
The Desert Raider could be annoying though. Like the Desert Raider detail is really frustrating because now the Kremlin isn't there to protect you. It's just a matter of timing. If this was a free TC build, I think this Desert Raider would do serious damage. But in this
Yeah.
matchup, Roost players typically go 2 TC fast castle.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think the Desert Raider isn't going to get there in time to really shut this down. It's coming across halfway. Well, maybe, actually. I don't think it can shut it down, but definitely do something. And is Wham aiming for the FC behind this? I think he is.
Yeah, this is like a castle race for both, but obviously Roost,
Yeah.
you want to get your eco advantage first because the second TC is always so kind of easy to get towards. Love that slowdown, by the way. Luciferon intercepted the Desert Raider. Could end up losing one of the scouts, but just gets out of range, and that sets up for a small wall that now delays the rotation.
Yeah, this is really smart for him. It's going to keep him a lot safer. I think Wham might try and sneak through here.
Ooh.
Nah, he doesn't want to
Ooh.
risk it. He's thinking about it. He's like, do I go?
It's like, maybe?
Should
Maybe
I
if I...
stay? Oh wait,
gonna-
he baited the arrows.
That's a lot of damage done. And it looks like he gets enough stone. Well played by
Wow.
Luciferon.
Yeah, that's really solid. And now he's gonna run down to the hunt where the Desert Raider isn't.
Oh,
And
this
so
is
this is gonna
logistics.
go up.
Dude, this is logistics play. I like it. I like it a lot because like this is a race between the two civs that have the fastest moving religious units. And that's how he
see.
wins, right? And like with his timing, because it's a second TC and no knight, what you can do is you can basically yoink the most aggressive relics on the map.
Yeah, I mean, Luciferon is not gonna be fast to Castle Age this game, really. It's gonna take him quite a while.
Oh, what? It's growth.
Interesting growth. 8 Vils, though, is a lot. That's gonna be a big eco lead. Maybe he's thinking he just wants to keep up with this if he can slow this down at all.
Wait, the camel?
He might get a Vil. He might get a Vil.
He'll get more than one. This guy has enough armor to reduce your damage to 1. Oh, it's going to start clubbing him down. Looks like a nice little shift away there by Luciferon. He is taking so long to kill this 120 HP unit.
That's some low HP Vils, too.
Wait,
That
he
could
gets
come to-
away?
No, he's gonna
no,
garrison,
no.
right?
He's going to
Garrison for
garrison,
the shot.
surely. He's going to hit the scout, though, right? Yep. He actually
Wow.
keeps it alive. It's like...
Oh. I think he was just hoping for the kill there. Pulls in his other unit. All right.
Oh, this is
Desert Raider?
immaculate. This is immaculate. Can we check Wham's base, by the way? Because I thought the growth wing's a bit surprising because he's been eating the berries. Yeah, okay, that's what perplexed me then. That's
That
what I
is
was
weird,
expecting
right?
logistics. Yeah, because like typically if you want to go for growth wing castle, the best builder since this was Marine Lord, he would exhaust the berries close to edge and then go back to the sheep and then come back off the tech up because with Feudal Age, you add a maximum of 300. With the Castle Age build, you're adding 600 more food next to your base.
Right. I'm trying to think. I mean, Luciferon's gonna be pretty delayed on the Castle Age here. Like,
It's expected.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I know the 2TC build, like, it's been the same for a while, but, like, it just feels really slow against how fast Wham has played, right?
Well, it feels
He
really
hasn't
annoying.
made any military, and he's gonna
Yeah.
be up so fast.
Well, this is the kind of like thing you give over, right? Is like typically when IB players try this fast castle against the night opening, they have to build an outpost. You didn't
Right.
force them to do that, right? That outpost plus the stone, the idle time of walking out the stone with no wheelbarrow, and then the outpost build up with 100 wood cost. It's very expensive. But Luciferon, because he wanted that optimal timing due to the Desert Raider, and he wanted to take the deer on the front due to the spawn, he just doesn't really get any upside. Wham just gets the fastest possible timing imaginable.
Yeah, that was really clean build from Wham. I really like that, and he even has the wood upgrade, so not lacking too much here on his side. And now we see Camel Lancers coming in.
Yeah, and
It's
this
gonna be
was
pretty
bad for
solid.
Lucy. This was really bad for Lucy because, like, you now built knights.
The unit stuck?
Wait, where?
The Desert Raider was like stuck in like an attack animation, just like sitting next to the berries. It was very odd.
He was just very religiously committed to defending the berries, Winston.
He was just hanging out to the berries.
Like, his camel has a berry addiction. It's a very big problem.
A very big problem. So you just said.
Yes.
Well, we're moving across the map with his first Camel Lancer and one Knight to deal with it, but not going to be great matchup for the Knights here.
Not charging in. There's no Steeled Arrow tech, right? No Blacksmith at all. So while the
Maybe
Desert
just
Raiders
dive.
should not be diving this, the Lancers are free to do so.
Sad camel noises. First one goes down.
Sleeping. What are you on about? We're like a child-friendly movie.
Ooh, and getting a pickoff here.
Yeah, like the Lancer not mirroring this is a bit surprising, but it's the route Lucifron took. He hid his approach, and this is a really big edge for Ruskett. Like, it's actually one of the things that just makes them really busted and competitive. If you check the vision for Lucifron, he sees everything. He's got scouts
the scout.
circling the map. Yeah.
Interesting on the barracks. I guess just feeling he wants to get some spearmen out, maybe from Lucifron. Surprised it's not like crossbows here, but spearmen kind of makes sense. Oh, nice
Yeah.
pickup.
So the problem with going crossbows first and why you have to go spears is like the long charge just instantly kills off crossbows, right? It's like you get the
Yeah,
maximum lance
right.
charge and then you club the sword straight away. But, and it's more cost efficient. 80 resources versus 120. High trade house is going to go up, get your numbers in. I don't think it's going to be that impressive because they already started chopping through that tree line.
Like 100 something, right? Maybe not even, right?
Maybe like what,
Depends on his
120?
bounty level.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, getting more value on this.
Are you kidding me?
What? Attack. Okay, so not really. I thought he was going to get a lot more
Well,
than that value
but the
there.
Lance account is big enough that you don't leave now. Like, it's up
I
to
guess
7.
just idle it, yeah.
Yeah. Because you can eventually kill it. It's 2,500 HP. He's going to back off for the moment, but like if this continues to escalate, Lucy's got a problem. And the other problem Lucy now has, he has to build Spearman as a reaction. Wham, timing perfect. He's going into Dervishes. This could very easily be a 5-relic game.
Well, it depends. Like, if Wham gets too greedy for damage, he could run into the Gremlins, right? Like, Lucifron still has that in his pocket. He hasn't called any yet this game. So, like, a big aggressive push onto that TC might just get repelled pretty quickly.
But that still leaves the relics, right? Like that's
Yeah,
the
the
key
relics
issue
are
in this
huge.
game.
The relics are huge. That's for sure. I don't know about 5. That one on the left feels hard. But
I
maybe.
feel like if it wasn't for the scout, he would have went for that first, but this follow-up Dervish might move over there. And the problem is, like, Lucifron is stretched thin, right? He's spamming into spears. He has finally got his first Warrior Monk on the way, so maybe he'll be able to clinch that. It all comes down to whether the Lancers see him, and this is always the problem with a 4 TC, right? Ever since the nerfs, only 7 garrison spots, you end up with way too many people on 4 Deer.
That's what I was talking about, though, with the position of the Kremlin in Dark Age. I was like, it doesn't help that TC at all. Like, not even a little bit, right?
But what else do you
Maybe
do,
there's a
right?
way.
Like, because you could build the
Yeah.
Kremlin further forward, but then 1, you don't buff the wood line, and 2, with,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
even with Wheelbarrow, you have to run all the way back because you don't have enough for a TC yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything Lucifron did wrong there. It's just like, what?
It just sucks,
like,
right?
it just doesn't work, right? Like, this TC is just completely exposed. No wood lines to wall around. Like, do you just add a wooden fortress? It feels too expensive. So, yeah, it's a tricky spot for Lucifron. Wham, pretty solid, but the Vil lead is still there for Lucifron. He's been able to produce consistently.
Okay, the one upside for Lucifron is every time these charges come in, if you don't charge a villager that doesn't get garrisoned, it is cancelling his charge you're seeing there, right? So he doesn't get the insta-kill when he goes in. So that's a positive, is like, because of that, Lucifron is actually maintaining an eco lead. And you have to remember this was also Growth Wing, so Wham, he already got like 8 extra villagers to gap close. So Lucifron, like if he can stretch this long enough, not too bad. He has got 1 relic on the way home. And that left side relic is still available. So funnily enough, Lucifron could make this a 2-relic haul.
It looks like a Warrior Monk is going there right now, but yeah, it's really interesting. The ram push here, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I think it's gonna maybe kill the TC, but we could see the Gremlin pull.
He doesn't have anything. Like, he's got archers in the way, right? Does he have enough for this many spearmen is what I'm wondering. He's gonna dive it. TC's targeting him down there is the problem. Dive past. This is tricky. Only a few militia have been pulled so far. The ram is still hitting the TC. Archer count down to just 7, and that is going to allow a few spearmen to seep through and start dealing with that ram. So nice split here by Lucifron to get just enough melee damage in on those rams that recently got nerfed and now take additional damage in melee.
Now, Wham just committing to the fight, turns and charges in. The scout freaking out in the back there, but the ram goes down. Not a lot of value from that. Did force the fight from Lucifron, so the spearman did have to come forward.
Has still got more militia, right? So like, there's a second wave he can do this with. And also, Lucifron now has Warrior Monks, so he can heal off damage. And never underestimate the power of the +1/+2, right, from the buff. It's huge what the Saints Blessings can do in close fights like this.
Even a Mangonel coming in. That's quite interesting, given that Lucifron does not have any ranged units. So it's just going to be for Mangonels against the Spearman match, right? Like you bottle them up into a melee fight and then you just wail on it. But
well, you've got Incendiary Shot as well for TC, right? And it's like it's a 2-tile building, so like your entire saturation hits it. It's pretty crafty, and also the other thing is it now forces Lucifron to dive. He doesn't want to dive, right? He wants to punish you for diving.
Yeah, if he switches it to the fire mode, I mean, do you think he will?
Yep.
Oh, immediately does. Yeah, smart. That's really cool.
Wooden Fortresses love this from Lucifron. I thought we were going to get it earlier so that this TC wasn't assaulted, but it was just too expensive. Wooden Fortress fully garrisoned. Dive comes in from the Archers, just chasing this back. And notice that he's not going after the Wooden Fortress, right? It's all about the TC, because if you hit the Incendiary Shot here, a lot of it is going to whiff. This way, you're getting maximum impact.
Interesting point there, sure. Oh, goes for a shot on the Vills.
That can add up if you keep hitting. Ram's almost dealt with the Wooden Fortress already. And actually switching over to the normal cast, switches back to the Incendiary Shot for the pump. It's not a lot of damage, but basically, considering the amount of units in there, it's a decent little chip away, right?
Yeah. Switches over now, just to get direct hits.
Lancers have to defend.
Well, Lucifron wants this fight.
Well, Lucifron, he's seeing very injured Camel Lancers, right? And the Archer count is not that high. The Mangonel can no longer shoot, has to keep running. Knights are going to have to start peeling back. That 20% unease is problematic here. He does at least keep the TC up. He has not repaired the Wooden Fortress. I think he's going to lose this area. Moving in. Wham. Smells blood in the water right now. It's 19 versus 39 military. Wooden Fortress goes down, and that means you have to concede the area. In a game where you only have a 5 eco advantage, it looks like you're at risk of losing that TC escalation. Dude, this Manjanique has done so much work in this fight.
This is sick. Yeah, this has been really, really, really cool. Man, if Wham could win this game, that would be huge for him in the standings, right? Like, this is probably going to be one of his harder matchups, right?
Yeah, because he got 2-0'd by Anatan, right? So, like, this is critical. It has to be also a big morale booster midway through the day. Nice thing to kind of have. I think he's got one more series after this, if I'm not mistaken. Double Ram, though, this is very powerful and very affordable, right? Although they nerf Rams, in a way they buff them, they are now 20% cheaper than they were.
Yeah, a little more affordable, but more exposed to any melee units, right? So, bit of a change there.
Lancers, they do have the level 2 ranged armor upgrade. This is also another big problem for Lucifron. He hasn't got any ranged upgrades, so the TC in Wooden Fortress fight really hasn't been doing anything, and that TC is about to go down. Knights trying to get around the backside of this. He needs to peel 2 and go for the Manjanique. Instead, he sticks to the Archers. Archers that also now have the Mamluke's Bravery. This is a problem.
TC goes down. The house as well.
Dude, this is a grind down right now. Like, the biggest thing I look for Ironbids when they look strong in Castle Age is the Mamluke's Bravery. It's such a powerful tech, and he finds the workers on the back.
What a massive pickup from Wham. Oh, that's going to be a major pickup here. If he can get those extra 3 vills way out here.
I think that's good enough, right? Like, now he's got Sacred Sites locked in. We're talking 3 relics, 3 Sacred Sites. And on top of that, now you know your opponent's playing on the flanks, and you have Camel Lancers. So what do? Look left and look right. We know Lucifron's in both locations, and Wham should confirm that soon. Love the house targeting here. Just trying to block him from getting a counter.
Yeah, it's really smart to just take what you can get. And yeah, now at 95 pop, and Wham's comfortably at 140. The position looking good, 2-to-1 military, equal economy, and yeah, Wham's making Ayubids look really, really solid this game.
And it's so hard for Lucifron to get the counter to his Manjaniques. Lance has found him. This has to be it. Lucifron's about to be food starved. The amount of idle time, the fact that he's trying to scale into more Knights, by the way, because he's going for his Fortitude. Flash comes in, Archers try to protect the Manjanique. It's going to be a little bit exposed, but the Camel Lancers make it take so much longer to kill. Body blocks come through. Manjanique shot's too strong. And this should be Lucifron throwing in the towel. What a sick hold.
That was an insane fight for Wham. Shot high value out of all of his units. Initially, it didn't look great, but Wham was able to reposition just at the last second, get the Lancers into the right position. And wow, Just truly impressive stuff there from Wham. What a clean game. His age up was so fast to Castle Age. That was really good game from him. Really showing the power of reinforcement into age up. We were a bit surprised by the growth wing, but those 8 vills seemed to be it, right? It gave him a lead, and he just pummeled Lucifron after that. And Lucifron's map maybe not ideal for the strat he went for, right? With the hunt being so far exposed on the north or on the south side of his base. Really tricky stuff for him, but I guess we'll see what Lucifron does next, right?
It wasn't a spawn that done Lucy any favors, because typically you want your stone and gold in the forward so that the drop of your Kremlin is worthwhile. So, like, I'd say there was definitely a map favored spawn there. You can't deny that. But also, Wham's flawless execution. He didn't spend more than he needed to do at any stage. We already highlight the fact he didn't drop an outpost. He didn't react in any way because he knew that the night timing was not going to be right. Because what you saw from Lucifron is a very bold TC. He needed to secure resources, but it means he needed to be fast in the timing. If he delayed it at all, just one of those Desert Raiders could have ruined the entire plan. So I think what this was, more than anything, some people highlight the map difference a bit. For me, this was Wham reading every move from Lucifron and reacting to it accordingly. Great start to a series that I think matters a lot for Wham today. And it means we get towards our second game with Wham on match point, and we're going to be going to Golden Heights. This is a map that we have not seen much of for a while, actually.
Yeah, and we also talked about the draft at the start there, KP, before that last game, where Wham let Rus go through, but Lucifron let Mongols go through, and it seemed to work really well for Wham in the first game. And now maybe getting Mongols here on Golden Heights. This is traditionally a very Mongol-happy map. Like, they love playing this map. And I don't know if Chinese really have it against Mongols on this map. Like, I'm trying to think about what I've seen here, and generally it seems like Mongols are going to have a little bit of an advantage early.
Historically, yes, but I've noticed something recently. Recently, a lot of these Chinese players have been just matching the aggression, because you have to remember they get 20% more food. So although they don't get the stone to make it free, what they can do is they can get a bunch of food and then they can supervise a racks and pump. So that's your whole goal here.
Right.
The question is whether he's going to immediately start pumping or look to try and get a dock down first and then try to pump. If he does, he's doing it from home. But remember, the Mongol players doing that as well. So, like, you go back a few months, I would have heavily favored Mongols here, especially on a map like Golden Heights. But especially, I've been watching a lot of this matchup on Mongolian Heights specifically. And surprisingly enough, the Chinese have been biting back quite a bit. So wouldn't write Lucifron out on this one.
Yeah, you supervise the barracks, and you can really outproduce Mongols pretty comfortably, right? But you always have the Khan to worry about in Dark Age, even. Yeah.
It's all about timing here. Like, there's even some builds where you basically, what you do is you spam spears, you tech up, you upgrade the spears, and then you punish them for trying to dock. We're going to find out, though. I just heard the Khan beckoning us in. Wham, a strong start to this Group B series versus Lucifron. Can he do it? Can he get a firm, strong, one of the best 2-0s he could get on the board? Or is Lucifron going to get us the distance? We head into Golden Height to find out.
A very awkward start for Wham. It always feels so bad when your Mongol TC is like just not down instantly. You want it producing vills right away. Every second feels like a second wasted, but able to get it going, and the scouts meet in the middle pretty early here.
Yeah, and what you're looking for is like whether both want to drop the racks. Lucifron has already gathered on the wood. He hasn't moved a villager out, so it looks like we should be getting spear on spear spam here.
Oh, really nice sheep snipe from Lucy. Although he's kind of low on sheep at home, so he's going to have to bring these back pretty soon, right?
He's got the berries. You don't feel good about doing it, but like, it is a backup option. I always find, by the way, like, of all the civs in the game, Chinese is #1 for scouting. Like, when you're talking about sheep haul, it's very hard to contest them because they have the extra 25% vision. So they can see you and pull, right? I'd put Mongols just a tier below. I think the speed and the Falcon's strong. I just don't think it's better than what China has.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. No, for sure, I agree with that. But yeah, Lucifron able to get a lot of the sheep from Wham. And Wham was scouting like the right side towards the water.
Yeah, this works. Okay, so this is a trade out of information. Wham wants to know if there's a dock drop, and Lucifron wants to know if there's a racks spam. They both get confirmation of what they're looking for. Wham now doesn't have to go for racks, and also Lucifron doesn't have to go for racks. So this turns into a race for feudal. That's something that the Chinese should always win.
Yeah. Giving up the water, though?
What? Yeah, but Okay, so going for the water, like this, if you go Imperial Academy here, like China has quite a firm escalation. What's important now is that he rotates for it. And if you look at Lucifer's vision, he hasn't checked that corner yet. So realistically, he is going to scout you fishing.
Yeah. That's what I would think, right?
That's the Rax drop, isn't it? Did I just hit the Rax drop in the base for Lucifron? No. Wham's not doing it. He's never. Yep.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's got a lot of work.
This is what I was talking about. This is what's changed this matchup. It's a blink first, right? And Wham blinks first.
Wham sees it.
Yeah, but he's built a dock already. How do you now afford to get the racks and get the spear spam going, right?
He's building one, but it's really far away. Yeah, this might be dicey.
Lucifron doesn't even supervise the spearman yet. He'll wait, right? He'll wait until he gets like a food haul, and then he'll turn and supervise for like 2 or 3 pumps. And that's like how you gap close the distance. So what we should probably see from Lucifron, his scout has come back to base, if I'm not mistaken. No, he's in the north corner. I'm expecting him to just go and check on Wham and see how many spears are coming.
Now, there is a difference here, and it's that Chinese are paying for each spearman fully, whereas with Mongols, you're saving a decent chunk of food. So if you try to match 1-to-1 spearmen here, Mongols are going to feel better, especially if the dock stays up. Wham is going to have a pretty major food lead, so that should lead to faster age up. But we'll see. I guess you age up quickly with China to catch up, right? So,
yeah, but like the other issue you have to remember is like, while it's true, like the stone gets you it for free, it's periodically. There are like search points for the Chinese. But you also have to remember he's getting 20% more food, right? He's cooking the books. So it's not just that he's getting more food, it's that he's taking the limited amount of food you both got and he's extending it. So like, and adding fishing in while spamming spears is very difficult to do. So there's going to be moments where Lucifron will have more spears.
I see.
Khan could be the difference, though. Like we've seen it before, right? The movement speed arrow is a very big edge. It does require that you start winning the fight, though. And if we're talking about micro battles, Lucifron is definitely no pushover in that department.
Yeah. We'll see, though. Yeah, you can see the numbers are just slightly better for Lucifron already. So when does he move for the dock, or does he just have to stay here?
Well, has he scouted it yet, right? Because like that's what I'm now looking for. Can we check Lucifron's vision? He's heading over now, so he's going to get confirmation in probably the next 30 seconds. Sooner, actually, yeah.
That's really interesting, actually.
This is where you basically just pedal to the metal. Like, the moment you see that dock, Lucifron's just going to keep spamming spears. He's already going up to 10, and Wham's only at 7.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting, right? Like, but if he responds too slowly, like, he's just going now. Yeah, he just clicked it now. He sees it. He's like, oh, crap. Okay.
And Wham, like, he knows he's been spotted, right? So now he has to mirror this. He doesn't have better numbers right now. Like, they're split. So he needs to get more of them over here, but you're seeing Lucifron's keeping a lead of, like, 2 spearmen at any given time. And Wham, also, he's been gathering gold, right? Whereas Lucifron, you can see he's got a lot of gold, but that's taxation. He's going to go for a tech up, and then he's going to rush the upgrade on the spears.
Wow. Okay, yeah, no, Lucifron. Yeah, no, I definitely see your point now about how China does well here. This build just looks so clean from him. Now, he doesn't have water yet, but if he's able to win this upcoming fight, like, I guess it's Wham's job right now to distract for as long as possible while he doesn't have numbers. But I think Lucifron is going to understand that his game plan just has to be kill the dock, right?
We've got 2 big Brittany fans here, but honestly, like, Lucifron, the spear situation, like, it's keeping Wham away from his deck up. It's such a big lead. I love the fact that Lucifron's rushing this right now. Remember, it only takes, what, 15 seconds for feudal upgrade? If you want, you can technically just supervise that and make it almost instantaneous.
Yeah, like 5 seconds, right? Really, really fast. And the dock's just going to go down. And Wham's just starting his tech up. The Vil is waiting, though, to build another one, if he needs it, right? If he can keep his boats alive and Lucifron doesn't build a dock, although it looks like Lucifron is scouting now for it. He didn't see the dock, but that's because the Vil is in hiding. That is an idle Vil this whole time, which...
Yeah, and he's patrolling spears here, right? So, like, it's one of those weird things where you could argue, okay, that's a lot of spears to invest to kill a dock, but then, yeah, Wham done it as well, right? Like, if Wham hadn't built this many spears, it's like a win for it's a win for Wham. But now he's going into Silver Tree on a map where, like, your bases are quite close together. He's already tried to invest in fishing, and that's failed. And now, if you just turn it into a continuous meat grinder of spears, you know that Lucifron's going to be able to maintain that for longer. It's so annoying. I like. It's a really effective build for China. He's also moving a villager out, so he's going to turn it into his.
We'll see. The Khan is here. Wham is up.
Wham doesn't have gold for the upgrade. He needs 35, right?
Yeah.
Wait, he's rushing an archer range.
Interesting.
Okay, Villager's going to get it then. Like, this is too much time. Wham just has to back away. He's going to take a few stabs and the Susuke on the way out.
Oh, Wham wanted to rebuild his dock.
Wait, but the Villager got intercepted. Oh, no. This is looking a bit rough.
But the Khan is killing the other Vill.
Yeah, but he does like calm down. He doesn't do enough damage quick enough.
Like, he does 4 damage damage.
Yeah, but it's the Chinese Villager.
He's just running through.
He's not going to be quick enough. He's not going to be quick enough. Oh. What? Oh my god.
I mean, he's losing a lot of spears for this, but it buys so much time, right?
99.9%?
Yeah, that's, I'm a little doubtful that was a good thing for Lucifrane. Oh, but we'll see. I mean, he's moving out with 2 Vills now. He really wants to secure it, but there's still more spearmen to intercept the Vills, potentially.
He's dodging and weaving. Lucifron's also adding in archers at a similar pace to Wham. Those archers come to the main base. He's going for an outpost rush, but, like, what are you blocking here?
Nothing to hit.
You have to run all the way around the base to hit anything.
Denying the stone could be good long term.
Wait, another villager? He actually might get another one. There's no way. Like, yeah, Lucifron, just pull back a little bit and stay with the spears. Like, that's all you have to do. That's the only way you throw this game right now is if, like, you pull the villager ahead of the spear mass. So, Doc is going to get complete. And now Wham doesn't have fishing. He's going to try again, but the spearman that denied him last time might do it again.
If these, like,
crazy.
4 archers were in the middle of the map right now, I feel like Wham could have won that fight and killed the Vill.
Agreed. And it looks like he's running out of food, so he moves on the deer. That's at least free for him for the time being.
He does not have enough here, and he's been spotted.
Dive in. Archer's going to be able to hold this. The best thing you can do is snipe the Imperial Official. He just doesn't have enough damage.
Yeah, only 3 units there now.
Okay, well, okay, that's great. Wham, look at what he's doing. He's trying to aggro.
It away.
Yeah, so he's going to sneak in for the dock. He will get it back up because right now Lucifron is distracted. Outpost being rushed up. This many spears realistically could just blow it up. Instead, they take out the villages that have no protection.
Wow. Dang, Lucifron is playing this so clean. I feel like every step of the way, he's been just one kind of step ahead of Wham. And now he has more archers, more spearmen. His spearman doesn't get too distracted. And now the dock is up for Lucifron anyway, so it feels unlikely for Wham to really be able to handle this. Although he does just sack 2 Vills maybe for this dock. The repairs coming in.
The archers make this impossible now. That's going to be 5 more villagers going down. That's going to be a huge lead in this game for Lucifron.
Yeah.
And now, so 5 villages gone. He has got the dock to contest the dock, but there's still villagers out here for Lucifron. Yeah, that's just it. That has to be it. GG. Lucifron evens it up. What a sick play. Amazing to see how the Chinese that were once countered pretty hard by the Mongols in these type of maps can now beat them.
Yeah, and that's mostly just player development, right? Like, that's just people figuring out how to beat Mongols at their own game there, and I think that was a really stellar play from Lucifron. I was completely wrong. The deep fish on that map are just so far away that, like, it just doesn't pay off in time, I think, the dock, right? If the deep fish were maybe a bit closer, then maybe Wham would have been able to, like, keep up with the tempo of the age up. But yeah, he didn't have enough units. Even though Wham got, like, some good-ish engagements with what he had, like, he was able to kill the Vill, right, before the dock went up and stuff like that, and he was able to position nicely in some of the situations. When he went for that counterattack, I think it was really rough because he did a loop around the base and saw that all the resources for Lucifron were really safe. And I think with that sort of situation, right, like, Lucifron's just going to be so secure that his pressure was just too much, and he had so many more units. Like, it was really, really, really clean stuff from him. That was a very well-prepared build. And we talked about how he hadn't scouted the dock. I have a feeling he just kind of knew. Like, looking at how we played that, right?
It's the fact there's no racks, and it's not a fast feudal, right? So it's like, it's a good game sense read. The timings don't align. So great read by Lucifron. What I find very interesting about that matchup used to be quite simply, Mongol player wait, you know your opponent's going to go docks, and the reason why Mongols are so good on water hybrid maps, they deny the dock with spear spam, GG straight away, right? And we've seen some interesting solutions like Ottomans were a pretty popular pick to try and contest that with the spear mass into imams and GG long term. But China historically has just been seen the other end of the spectrum, right? Where they're greedy, they want to get it down, they want to get the tech up fast. They can't play the long dark age, but you just see the power of that extra 20% food. It's just a waiting game. It feels uncomfortable as well. I feel like it's very difficult to sense when you've waited too long in those situations. It just shows you how much experience a player like Lucifron has in that situation to not jump the gun and say, okay, I need to tech up, right? I just need to keep spamming spears. And the thing that I just always love is you have a bit more flexy with the Chinese because you don't need to non-stop spam spears like other civs. You can take breaks, see what your opponent is doing, and then supervise to make up the gap. Just great read, great draft, and it means we get deeper in this draft. Frisian Marshes. Jeanne d'Arc, kind of a given, right? French looked pretty good on this map in the past. Byzantines on the other side, a questionable and unproven quantity.
Yeah, not really sure how this plays out on this map, right? I don't even think I've seen this matchup on this map. Maybe once or twice.
I'm trying to think what you
trying
could
to
do
think
here.
if that happened.
Could you trade? No, you're not going to trade against Jean. Like that's a no-no.
I feel like there might be situations though where Biz can kind of like shore up defensively, but I'm a little worried that Jean is just going to get too much map.
I think you hippodrome.
Right.
You hippodrome. That's what you do here. So like that.
Hippo.
Yeah, Wham's fort is this map has a lot of sheep and also fishing, so you can afford cav. And if you go hippodrome, Triumph actually makes you able to contest knights. Also, it's really good at sniping out Jean specifically. So like Lucifron has to go melee form, doesn't feel great.
Right.
And then even in melee form, like you have 2 melee armor against 13 damage per strike. Let's see though. It sounds like it's time for the final game of this series. Game number 3 between Lucifron and Wham. We go to the fantastic Frisian Marshes. Jeanne d'Arc coming out in the hands of Lucifron. And Wham throwing an interesting development for this map with the Byzantines.
Yeah, it's I really don't know how you play it, right? Like, I feel like Biz just want to play their standard game here. They have a somewhat defensible base, it looks like. But the deer are really far. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Biz play this. Like, I don't think you want to go 2TC way out there, right? It'd be close, right? You just play 1TC Hippo, you're saying?
Yeah, you just grab the crap out sheep, right? Because there's like 36 sheep on this map or something like that. It's crazy, right? One thing I like from Lucifron, he immediately knew where to go. Remember, like, this map spawns in different angles. The Jeanne d'Arc faction, same as French, have an edge. They can see the neutral trade posts, so they know exactly where their opponent is and can pivot towards their base. It's why you saw Lucifron move for the Stealth Forest a little bit quicker than Wham.
Yeah, that was smart play. Or, like, a good pick here for this map for that reason, right? Really interesting.
And now you can, like, see the way Wham's constricted on the minimap, where he just has to keep shifting along the edge of his side of the map, right? And it means Lucifron, if he reads where you're going, he can get 2/3 of the map sheep. But I like what Wham's doing. He's giving up the corner to now try and divert across to the enemy side.
Yeah, interesting development there is that Lucifron able to go all the way out there to the shorefish. So Jeanne d'Arc not getting the drop-off building discount, right? So paying a lot for that mill, but it's definitely going to pay off in long run, right? It's a lot of good food income.
It also levels Jeanne up a bit quicker, right? Because she gets XP based on her gathering rate. So, like, this is a bit quicker, which is really nice.
It's a little bit faster, right, maybe, but you also have the walk time to drop off the fish.
Yes.
And the walk time to get there. So I feel like just staying on sheep is the fastest way still, right?
Yeah, I think it's more like the difference, though, isn't as big as it seems because of that detail, right? Like,
right.
I don't think we're going to see multi-TC play. The stone's kind of forward spawning, and if this is going to be Hippodrome, then you won't have a chance. And we're about to get confirmation. He didn't go on the berries, so it's possible looking at Grand Winery. Okay, yeah. He's actually going to go for it. He's not looking to apply the pressure. Instead, he's going to go for the standard sit back and get the mercs.
Yeah, just try and hide in this corner, I guess. You do get oil from fish, right? So he could put the TC just like on that wood line next to the shorefish, maybe.
You don't get much, though, right? It's 10%.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm wondering where else TC goes. Maybe on the south side by the gold, just to keep that safe.
All of his gold is south spawning, right? So like you either have to build outposts or you have to drop a TC there. It also would,
there,
yeah, because it skews the berries. Like I think it's kind of a no-brainer at that stage.
Right. If he has map though to do that, that's pretty forward. That's close to the stable. Or sorry, the School of Cav, right? It's a bit spook.
Yeah,
Chip
this
it,
definitely looks like a
spooky.
second TC though, because he's chopping the straggler trees. He's not building a lumber camp at all. So
Right. Yeah, that's how Lucifer did it there. Yeah, interesting.
Lucy's timing's pretty scary though. He rushed the
It
School of
is.
Cavalry before, so the
And he's
first
gonna
night,
have a knight. Yeah.
it's going to block this.
That's what I was saying about the TC. Is like, where can you actually build it if it's against Jean d'Arc and there's a knight out? You have to add spears if you want it on the gold there. Maybe that's
it's
where a third
the
TC goes, and you just build it safe.
Maybe it's the Woodline TC. I remember, I think Duma was the first person to do this. Like, he found a really sick timing for like a 5-minute TC, where you do the straggler trees, you take the stone, and then you drop the TC on the wood line because you run out of wood, right? And you don't have anything for a lumber camp, and you don't get wheelbarrow. So maybe it is just a condensed second TC on the trees.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking when we were like loading into the game. Is like maybe
Yeah.
you just play like a really tight biz game, but I don't know. I feel like Lucifron on Jeanne d'Arc, he already lost a game earlier today as Jeanne d'Arc against someone playing really tight. That was against B, playing very like we saw that like the Chinese style, like very tight second TC right on top of his main, right?
Wait, is this
I
an
feel like
outpost push?
Lucifron is going to be a bit sharper this game and not let that happen. Yeah, he's coming forward to build.
All right, this is a delayed outpost rush. He's looking to block out some resources. I don't think Wham is going to go for that drop there, though. I just don't think you can. The timing just doesn't make sense. It's going to be on the tree line. Yep, he's moving across with extra woodworkers now.
But he can
Oh.
outpost the berries, so the berries are going to be in like he's not going to get oil from these, right? It's like kind of the
Oh,
when Biz first came out, everyone was saying like, oh yeah, you just like you pressure the berries and then they don't get mercs. But I think people have realized that there's more ways to play them than just focusing on the mercs.
yeah, I think they have like some decent units in their arsenal. The merc timing just comes later, right? Like the reality
Yeah.
is when you're going 2 TC, you're actually relying on static defenses to defend you. You're not relying on troops, right? And when you do have to get to troops, there's nothing more efficient than Limitane with Archer Fire from town centers to assist. So, you know, as long as he's got wood, he's going to have outposts. And if he has outposts, he has a defense, because the other crazy thing about the Civ is they get stone when they build buildings, right? Like you just saw him get, what was that? It was 32 stone for building the TC. So if he needs to crawl out onto the stone or the gold again, outposts will
Right.
get him there.
Yeah, but this is still very awkward because Jean's just getting all these buildings up. She gets a lot of experience, right, for building buildings. So
Yep.
level 2 is going to be right
He's doing
there.
his second outpost on the gold.
Yeah, I mean it's in between the two golds. Like Wham is gonna have no resources, right? Like Wham is gonna have to fight this off with unupgraded archers. Like and spears.
it's not. Yeah, it's the spears that's the bigger problem. Like the unupgraded spears here. Like you can actually make Unlimitane work in Feudal Age, but Dark Age Unlimitane, I'd rather just like ask if we can have a best of 5 instead.
I think maybe Wham is gonna have to build a market, honestly, to sell 100 wood for gold. So
It's
he
also
can
Jean
upgrade the
Hunter.
spears.
Yeah. Okay, so this is scary now. It's Jean Hunter.
Jean the Hunter.
Jean de Hunter. She
She's gonna
loads
go
her
for size.
baguettes onto her bow and shoots them into. I think that's
Yeah,
what
this
she does.
is interesting.
It-
Yeah,
it-
so Spearman coming in, like Limitane, and interesting is stable, so going to be going Horseman to accompany the Limitane. So Horseman Spear. It's generally a pretty solid comp here against Knight Archer, but it's a bit scary when you don't have gold for the Limitane upgrade, right? Like he's gonna
Just
have to
get
figure
more
that
of
out,
them.
but it's gonna cost so much in the end, right?
Just get more of them. Like that's the point of the Unlimitane build.
The unlimited,
Yeah, the
Limitane,
unlimited Limitane.
yeah. I don't know. This game it feels like it might be a bit limited.
I mean, you got food, you got wood. Like, how many sheep has he got left, actually? Because he did end up with only 2/3 of the sheep from what I saw. Like, 1/3 of the sheep, rather. It's not great. Another problem is you're building horsemen, but if Jean just camps this tower, right, it's getting fortified. Lucifron is playing this correctly. He's fortified both towers, so you can't torch them down.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of surprised by the build order from Wham. It's giving up space and map, but maybe this is also just a bit faster. I don't know if he's played against this on Frisian Marshes. Oh, what a snipe! Boom, 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 headshot. Sorry.
I'm getting
The,
signed to phase, bro.
I wonder if maybe Wham, when he practiced this strat against fast civs, they didn't have shorefish that close on this map, because the fact that Lucifron was able to go to the shorefish, and like I feel like that made this whole timing just that little bit faster, that little bit more potent.
Dude,
And it's made it really awkward.
He's legit just going castle.
Yeah, relics. His opponent's all walled in. You can go relics. You could add siege.
Oh my
you
god,
could
yeah,
just
it's
man
been
at
arms.
arms. Yeah.
I was waiting for it. The villager has to run all the way back out, but double racks right next to the enemy base.
This is a forward base, baby. He wants to kill it. Like, there's no gold on the enemy. What's he? Even if Wham somehow gets Castle Age. Also, did he buy a market? He built.
He
a market,
did. He's
he?
got Limitane.
He built a market.
Form.
He built a market, sold res to upgrade his units, and now he has to fight against this.
Oh my! Oh my!
No, it does.
It's gonna take so long to break this tower.
And now Jean is gonna be there.
Oh!
And
Horseman.
the
Wait,
Horseman
cancels the Raxes.
Uh-oh, but Wham did see it, so he knows
Wait.
that something's happening.
But
Look, he
at
just
the
rebuilds it.
look at the outpost though. It's taken all those villagers all this time, and they still haven't killed it. Oh,
It will go
my
down though, and that's
God.
gonna give Wham back his gold, but at the cost of what, right? Jeanne d'Arc goes down, JD down, President down. Man, this is rough.
Yeah, it turns out her bodyguards are going to arrive a little bit late, but they are going to be uncounted. The Raxes have been dropped. He pulled the attention away. Wham's going to be too late to block this. Guildhall almost complete. And he sees the ruins, right? But he's not checking further.
No, he's gonna see it. Wait, he might be able
No,
to
he's
burn
not.
this.
He's not going to... The reason why it looks like he's going to see it is the outpost.
Oh my gosh. I
I
don't know how much. This is really scary now if you're Wham, because you're nowhere near Castle Age, right? And your opponent has armored units in two forms. You can't just make Spearmen to deal with Knights here, right? You have to have something for the Man-at-Arms, and nothing easily, because Wham has been pushed off of Mercs. He's only got 220 olive oil, so there's not really enough to do anything with any contract. So yeah, this is...
Raid on the fishing. Like, might actually get like a little bit of idle time there, which is important.
nice.
Nope, okay, maybe not.
He killed him, though.
Yeah, but he lost the horseman. And honestly, if you just pull the rest of these villages, this horseman's dead, right? And then you just go back to gathering. Lucifron, weirdly enough, is just going to pull it all the way back underneath the TC and a nice quick garrison. So, does get two villages, does force a little bit of idle time, but like that's his raiders dead.
Oh,
he has
Oh, he
10
goes-
Limitane.
Man-at-Arms
Oh,
just gonna
no.
dive.
He can fortify this outpost. That might like save him a bit, but you're still dealing with Undermesh on the way. Like, this is before Undermesh. This is the point where you're meant to be able to kill them. And they're lasting so long. Nice run away. Villagers. I mean, dude, you have to fight. Akratoy gets activated. Nice play there, but now you just get kited, right? Akratoy saves you once, but what saves you against the second pump? A remake?
I don't. Is that rhetorical? I can't really answer that in this case. Like, I don't think there's any saving here. I mean, Wham does have a sizable villager lead. If he can shore up the defense, I think his position becomes a little bit better. But it just feels so hard, right? Like, the Men-at-Arms aren't going to stop.
The outpost going up. Men-at-Arms moving across the gold. I mean, they will beat this Men-at-Arms, but I'm more worried about the other two that are running over to that gold line right now. It looks like Wham does have textiles, right? So that's actually a good read there. Yeah, so he's going to survive a lot longer. But remember, Akratoy is on cooldown for about another 2 minutes, I think it is. So
It wouldn't even work here. He doesn't have a cistern.
no, but like, I mean, even when it dives to TC, right? Like, it's a long time to be
Right.
without your strongest defense tool. And I believe Jean, yeah, she's just arrived. It's
She's
XP
back.
time.
Yeah, Lucifron didn't buy her back this game. Instead, just went up to Castle Age.
I think that says everything about how critical Jean was to this strategy. Past
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Under the GC. I mean, Wham's Vil count is getting high. Castle Age is just around the corner. What landmark does he go?
Are you really asking that? Like, no, don't you dare.
You
Golden
gotta
Mentor.
ask. You gotta ask. You gotta act like it's. Yeah, no, it's gonna be the. Yeah. the
I've
Golden
seen
Horn,
some NA players, I will not name them, going Sistan, and they reminded me just how that is the worst landmark of the expansion. It's going to be Golden Horn Tower every day of the week.
Yeah. No gulps here. But yeah.
Problem is, like, how do you tech it? Where do you tech it? Like, he hasn't got room at the back of his base, right? So I think it has to be built between these towers, and he's praying that this is enough archer fire to kill the Men-at-Arms.
Well, what about Jean? Again. She's
Chef.
down again. This is relevant though. She's not getting XP. Like
No.
this does matter. Like this is what Wham was trying to play for. I think the Man-at-Arms have definitely.
Wait, is Lucifer not like he didn't? What? He didn't go for additional fish.
He got pushed off of it. He went back to his sheep.
No, yeah, well, he got pushed off of it. The 2 horsemen died, though, right? There's been no more horsemen.
He had a lot of sheep, so I think he just wanted to he wanted to be able to focus on putting on pressure rather than having to deal with defending and attacking at the same time. If he had to go on those fish, there's no guarantee there aren't more horsemen.
So I've actually watched this kind of build work against Burgrave spam, and you have to remember that Lucifron is essentially playing a worse Burgrave build, right?
Yeah,
So-
the French.
I don't know, man. I think the fishing being missing is what killed Lucifron here. Like, the Men-at-Arms spam isn't big enough. He's got 7 MAA. Wham is now teched up. If he has a little bit of food going, a few crossbows come out, all of a sudden you're out of the base, but the archery range is at least being delayed. Jean is back again.
This time she was bought with gold, so she's been paid to exist here, but she can't go near the TC. She'll get sniped again. And all these gold units are going down slowly. I mean, it's a lot of idle time. I think we should keep in mind that of Wham's economy is idle.
His entire
so-
lead is idle.
Yeah, I mean,
And then
lot.
some. Yeah.
and then some. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I was waiting to happen, right? Like, because these were never fortified. So, like, the play is to just get rid of the outpost on the gold. Because right now, Wham's play, as cheeky as it is, if he cannot get gold, he cannot counter you, right? Right now, he
Right.
can afford a grand total of 2 crossbows. He's sneaking out to the north side. Is he going for deer? I think he's going for deer and fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really. If that never gets spotted, but I mean, we're talking about Lucifer here. I feel like he should
Villagers.
spot that eventually.
I mean, even with textiles, right? You have to lose 1
Whoa.
or 2 here. No?
What?
What?
Hello?
What? I mean, he doesn't want to
What?
use the smites, right? Like, he's still going to get a single villager kill out of that. Oh my god.
Well, he
Yeah,
just
1.
dies.
Okay, there we go. Gets an extra.
But the
The
first
lead is-
crossbowman is out.
Yeah, but the lead is shrinking. Like, Wham,
Yeah.
this has hurt him. He has practically no food income. He still has a gold issue here, realistically. And another outpost is now being targeted. What
A lot of
is this
bills
game?
moving out on the map for Lucifron as well.
I was wondering when that was going to come out. Divine Restoration finally arrives. Consecration on double racks. So it means actually Lucifron's a lot more optimal in his food usage. It's
Yeah.
like weird. You have this worst Burgrave, but the
Jean
longer
dies
this
again!
goes on.
What?
It's okay.
That's the
Use
third
Consecrate.
time.
It's just-
But that's the third time.
I'm wondering, like, if you care about level 3 Jean. Like, I know it sounds kind of crazy to say,
You
but
do. You of course care.
I feel like the Men-at-Arms spam is more important. As long as he can keep his opponent in the base and keep fishing, like, this doesn't stop, right?
I don't know though, but like if she had just been idle in the base, she would eventually hit tier 3. But she's been
Oh.
dead for 4 minutes this game, like not getting experience.
Holy Mother of Paul, have you seen what Wham's got in the way? Keshix. I think the savior's on the way.
Yeah.
And that is something Lucifron, yes, he has Raxes, but he hasn't upgraded his spears, right? It's just non-stop Men-at-Arms. So, like, Keshix was charging in here could actually just break this wide open.
And this is an all-in from Lucifron. Like, Lucifron does not have, like, any growth. He doesn't have any follow-up to this. It's like, when this stops, what next? His 3 barracks, he's used consecration charges forward. So if he loses this position, it's basically game over. That's multiple charges going to be destroyed.
Can
That's
we check
huge.
the guild hall, actually? Because there's one fort in this game that's...
He
Oh,
just
he-
used it.
Oh,
my.
jeez.
He
Okay,
just
no.
used it for food.
But that was the one thing I was like, big golf claps. But the other problem I see here, it's now coming in. Like, Siege Engineering, if he'd gone for this earlier and just delayed the Men-at-Arms, that might have worked a lot better. Just one of these rams, right?
Maybe, yeah, Rams are the way to deal with this style of play, right? There's no melee units on the field for Wham until the Golden Horn produces the first batch of Keshik, right?
I can't believe Wham's done this, man. It looks really dicey. It looked like for a second there it was just going to
The
flatline.
counter
No food.
Ram.
Nice
Oh,
space.
Cairo Siphon, right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
So basically very expensive. I like how every other ram, while getting nerfed, kind of got buffed on the cost, and then there's just Cairo Siphons costing 100 gold. Them being more squishy.
I mean,
All right, hit me out. This is just a derby race right now. You getting your ram or getting my ram, and we'll just ram.
I think if Jean gets tier 3 pretty soon, like it has to happen eventually, right? Going for the riders here actually makes a lot of sense, right? To do with the crossbows.
Sick. Yeah. But like she's still what, probably 3 minutes away from Edge.
You mean dead? She's still dead, you mean?
Jean dead? Yeah, it turns out when Jean said she's going dark, she meant she's being buried. Like the ram is just going to go down, so that was completely worthless.
Yeah. Where's the Kyro Siphon? Just... Oh, he's trying to deal with this tower. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because more Keshiks, right? Like the Keshiks are uncountered.
Yeah.
This game is like the weirdest game of Frisian Marshes I have seen in over a year, and I'm so here for it.
I'm down for this. This is really technical, you know? It doesn't seem like it, but like this is like a very like these little nitty-gritty details are what have mattered, right?
Oh yeah, because like
I
the
love
thing
that.
is, every time we're like, oh yeah, so this is gonna be we're like wrong, and I love that. I actually want to be wrong. It's so boring when you're like, oh yeah, I know what happens in 15 minutes, and then you just like you get a moment where you're like, I was right, but then you're just like kind of boring knowing. No one, I don't feel like many people have practiced this particular matchup, let alone going 20 minutes in.
Yeah. Uh-oh. JD. On the run.
I think Lucifer's
Keshik
gonna
right here.
need some JD after this game. Good lord, Keshiks.
The snipe comes out.
And
Doesn't
it doesn't
kill.
matter because now they heal off the damage.
Interesting. No. One
Oh.
goes down.
No, no, dude, he's gonna sustain. He's like a vampire. Moving in, nice snipe there. So 20 XP. That's a little bit of recovery here. Like Lucy must be what, probably about, let's say, still a minute and a half away from age 3 on John.
She was dead for 4 straight minutes. I don't know.
Like
Two
I'm
full
acquainted
deaths,
for that.
right?
Like there's been some kills, right?
Yeah, not that many. He's only gotten like 100 experience from battles, right?
And I don't think he killed the boars either.
I mean, losing consecration charges is also massive. That puts you behind. Like, every charge is like part of your economic scaling, right?
When you play Jean and you lose buildings that have consecration, it's kind of like when you're playing Japanese and a Yorishiro building dies. A part of you dies with it. It's a grim feeling. The upside is at least this is a 4 relic game, by the way. Luciferon is running away with goodies. So, you know, we're worried about, okay, how do you gap close the eco? It's not fully there, but this is something. He's stockpiling a lot of resources right now, but it looks like we are seeing an investment into a horseman transition.
This might not be a great fight. Oh, but he just snipes Jean again. Wow, down she goes.
Oh my dude, Luciferon is going to have PTSD after today. Remember that B game? Crossbows are what kept sniping him. And we get into game 3 versus Wham, and once again, it's crossbows that are destroying Hunter Jean.
I'm looking at the minimap. Are those knights gonna find the hunt? Oh, there's an outpost here, but
Yeah, but that's not going to protect everyone, and there's no upgrade on it, right? There's no
good
mangonels.
reaction, but not enough. Oh, wait, it's low. He could surround it, maybe.
Really? You want to surround this with
No,
four,
I mean, you
four armor?
try. It's better than letting them all die.
I mean, I feel like
I
you
guess
lose
they
less
should
villagers
run.
doing this. Yeah, a second
Yeah.
night is coming. That wow.
You
It's
gotta
annoying
dream.
because that's a lot of like his food income right now. He's scaling into farms, but he still kind of needs that to pad the way, especially now that he's adding in Varangin. Nice quick snipe though. Heavy loss there for Lucy. He's floating so much food and gold. Like I can't help but feel this is going to be Imperial Age.
Just a red palace forward, maybe.
Like yeah, because you know the alternative is losing the game because who builds College of Artillery, right? Like
I'm just saying forward, like
yeah.
forward.
I
The
know.
maybe
like,
was for the forward part.
I'm stroking my chin. I'm like, could College of Artillery work here? And I'm just like, no. There's no way it will ever
I mean,
work.
artillery, it's not terrible against a crossbow mass if the opponent doesn't realize. But I think
Sure,
it's gonna happen here.
you get your splash shot once every like what 2 minutes, and also if you misclick, you hit the wrong unit. Love College of Artillery.
And it's going to be placed defensively, not forward.
We tried originally and then realized actually that's the quickest way to lose this game.
Yeah, that is a fast pass to a 1-2.
I like that for a second, actually. I don't like that he pulled John away there because timing matters, right? And a 33% increased build speed on an attack up is pretty big. But he decided to move John away from it.
So do we see the riders? No, we see the champions. Interesting.
Yeah.
Another player prioritizing the champions against the crossbow mass, it doesn't quite make sense to me. There are no spearmen on the field for Wham, but I guess just preferring the champions for their raw stats.
I think it's like, yeah, its effective HP is better, but obviously like that attributes you not being countered by crossbows. The reason why Lucifron probably feels it's a better idea is because his opponent shouldn't be able to do crossbows late game because of Arbiter, right? Because like Arbiter just stomp all over all the other crossbows.
So it's
like,
a decision for later. Yeah.
Yeah. Village is
I
being
don't know
raided.
if this front has that luxury all the time. Making late game choices right now.
Parasiphon's moving in. Actually going for the landmarks here, so just trying to force his opponent home.
Well, it's another. Oh, I guess you don't lose the charge here, but you lose the effectiveness of it.
You have to rebuild it. It takes so long to rebuild. You still keep the 20% reduction, like it's not attached to the building, but yeah, you do have to rebuild.
Yeah, you have to repair it, rather. Right. So,
Lucifron has food issues right now, though.
Lucifron just has issues. Like, this is rough. No, this is,
what kind of sicko builds men-at-arms racks as next? He oh, so you meant different issues. Got it. Yeah.
What is this better I'm doing? No, I don't mean like that. I mean like he's got under a lot of pressure here.
Oh, okay. Wham is feeling bad for Lucifron right now. He's like, it doesn't feel fair to use this Mangonel against you. So let's kill it.
This Byzantine is getting towards their full setup. Like Wham is heading into a late game position with this, and that is when they are at their best.
Please pull these villagers back. Please. Oh my god.
Oh no.
He doesn't even realize the ping's everywhere else. He's distracted. Oh my god, Lucifron. It's fine. Okay, yep. Don't zoom in on that. All right, we'll get banned off of Twitch. That needs to be censored. Good god. Karasife, in the meantime, has dealt with the School of Cavalry, so good luck with that horseman spam. I think Lucy might just be dead here. He doesn't have the food to get a mass horseman army together.
He's looking for the fight, I think. He's going to try and collapse on this army. If he can deal enough damage, and then maybe this is enough units to get Jean to tier 4, potentially.
Oh, got it. Like, there's a whole army dead around her, but she's covered in armor and unkillable. The one true hope.
He laughed, but Jean levels matter. We'll see, though.
Get in. Mango.
Just gonna get blocked out.
Oh, well, you got the Mango, but you lost, like, everything that can attack. And John is dead. Oh, the nerves weren't good enough. I think they were. Oh, my God. He can't buy it back. He hasn't got enough gold. Crossbow versus archers isn't a bad trade-out for Lucy, right? But, like, behind this, we're now talking about 112 economy versus 59.
Yeah, this position feels so good for Wham. He just knows how to close it. The small little raids, the right techs. He built a bunch of Mangonel placements at home to deal with future raids from Lucifron. So I think Wham's just feeling solid now. He's in his zone, and Wham in his zone is a very scary player. Like this is hard to deal with. This keep is beyond bold.
What?
But.
I was wondering why he wasn't cancelled. I was like, he must have forgotten about it. No, he genuinely just tried that. So, like, the army just got cleared up. This is still rocky, to say the least. Like, rocky literally now, because the Mango has shown up. I think, actually, Lucifron just overextended.
Yeah, I mean, but he has elite archers here, right? He is H4. He has a lot of the blacksmith upgrades. He has vills that are working. He doesn't have any consecrate charges.
He does have anti-siege as well. Remember, he's got Jean, so she can go snipey, right?
She can snipe siege, yes.
Oh god, luckily there's a few torches here. Kind of crazy, actually. Like, Wham, here's a thought for you. Instead of going for a keep, imagine if he just bought the Mangonel emplacement on this outpost. Right? Like, I actually think all these archers would be dead right now.
Maybe. I don't think Lucifron would have fought like that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but you kind of have to when your opponent's on the edge of your base, right? Because, like, then he can actually keep drop afterwards. But,
well, I mean, like, he would have, like, split formation. He wouldn't have just grouped his units, right?
True, but Mango outpost OP. Reddit told me.
It is very strong. And there are multiple on the map defensively for Wham, so he definitely agrees with you that they're the right answer. He just didn't do it forward there for some reason. Now the food economy in the north is once again exposed, I believe.
We've got
a couple of vills
on the way as well. So Ordnance Company's coming in. He did lose a lot of consecrated buildings, but he still has a few things here, right? So we check the base. I imagine Like your goal here, it's interesting going Horseman because I feel like usually your goal is to get to Arb the Trie mass. Probably doesn't feel like he has the economy to do that compared to Horseman.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Wham is eyeing up the Imperial Age. He doesn't have a huge army, but he has enough, I think, to defend whatever attack comes his way. He's got keep spread out nicely, so I think he should be okay for this.
If Lucifron somehow turns this around,
That Palatine school, so more Varangians on the field.
I'm always a little bit skeptical about Palatine schools placed like that because the issue is like your troops take a really long time to get to the front line, right? Like, I feel like I'd rather see like the Palatine built at the front of your base so it keeps the production queue going.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, like it's okay there. I think if you're doing like mostly Cataphract, but yeah,
if you're losing, I think is the more important thing, right? Like, but if you have posturing on the map like this, you could drop it like next to the keep, and if you start to snowball, because the negative is like you could say, let's build a proxy base, right? And I'm going to push units out of it. The problem is like every fourth unit is coming from the other side of the map still. It's always been something a little bit weird to me about Palatine school placements.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So now we have some Springalds to match off against the Mangonels from Wham. And Jean to help with the sniping.
Yep, and also, let's keep in mind, like, decent amount of XP exchange going. Jean's not dying as quickly anymore. Mecha Jean is possible.
Yeah, maybe at like 40 minutes at this rate.
Actually, if you get these sacred sites,
it does help.
Yeah, it's a lot of XP. It's actually weird as well. Like I always fearcraft the idea of like Jean d'Arc counter Delhi in like when they take a sacred site because they want the sacred site, you take it back, and it's almost like they're feeding you XP, right? Like
yeah, I was about to say, is there like some game plan where you like give it, or like as Wham, do you just let him have the sacred sites and not try and contest them?
Not until you're strong enough, right? Because like, oh no, a timer has started. Oh no, he's getting like some gold trickle. I still have a 50 eco lead. Yeah. I don't think you should panic overreact to it.
What about this? How many vills do you think is it? This is a lot of vills. That's a lot of vills. Hold up.
Pico? He's not going for Pico right now. Cannon shot's going to come out. Backing out fire in response, but nice dodge with the Horseman. No damage done there. And John isn't diving yet. Instead, the Springal's just going to deal with it. So Wham came out with a weaker hand here. Paid the price for it.
Looking for the counter raids at the same time, though. And I think Wham has the front line here to just fight.
Mango, dude, Lucifron's on point. The Mangoes haven't touched him at all. Cannon shots are also sniping out the back line slowly. I don't think he actually has the front line. I mean, the amount of troops left over is kind of pathetic here.
No, but there's no anti-armor for
But they're veteran Varangian, they're not elite. Like, they don't have the extra armor. No, he's spamming the Matane instead. Keshik's going home the backstabs, and now it looks a bit better, right? Now we've got elite crossbows, we've got the Keshik stabbing around the back. More horsemen are on the way, but the thing that Lucifron needs, he needs to always trade better, right? Because this meat grinder, the only upside he gets from it, it's not an eco win. It's going to be an XP win. Jean has to be getting close now.
Yeah, that's going to be big.
Especially the attack speed buffer here. Again, with archers just peppering out with incendiary arrows, this is a pretty big deal. Also, can we check? I don't think Wham has elite army tactics. This Limitane feel like they're dying a little bit too quick. Yeah, no elite army tactics here. He also does not have the incendiary arrows, so Lucifron. Oh, Jean starts to back her away. A little bit dicey there, but able to dodge out the crossbows. However, that means you're now sacrificing the siege, and he's sacrificing the game. Lucifron, I don't even know how that game went that long, but Wham, with a firm hold. I think the lesson here is going to be, if you want to do a Burgrave spam, don't use the one that we have at home. Use the premium shot bought one.
This is really interesting because that's the second Lucifron game where he lost on JD today that we saw, right? And that's really surprising to me. I think going into this, I definitely. What do you mean? I'm really surprised because I didn't think Jean could lose. No, I'm talking about Lucifron here, the player, right?
Yeah.
Because this is a tournament to celebrate the players and their excellence. And it's really interesting how I did not expect this win from Wham. And I wonder if part of this is from Lucifron's side. That game did not seem particularly clean at several spots.
Nope.
Like the the man at arm play felt
He rushed.
it felt like there was a piece missing. Like you're saying, yeah, like maybe he rushed it a little too fast and wasn't like quite ready for it. Maybe he underestimated the potency of those arrow slits everywhere. Something like that has to have happened because, I mean, Wham's defense there was honestly impeccable, right?
Mhm.
That was a really good job by Wham.
Yeah, I had
really
my
cool.
doubts on it because I was just like, okay, this feels pretty solid by Lucifron. I think he like panicked a bit at the idea of Castle Age and contesting it. And he just went a little bit too quick. Like a ram would have changed everything that game. When he built one, it was too late. He could have maybe found a bit more value if he played Clown Car, right? Like you get the men at arms inside, you move in because your opponent only has crossbows, so he'd have to push
Right.
villagers to counter it, and then you at least are killing what you're after. But I can't take anything away from Wham. That game was wild,
Yeah.
confusing, and I feel like honestly, we keep saying JD. I need a few shots of JD after that one because that one was absurd. But credit to him, he plays full turtle and it works out. And you know, it's interesting to see Byzantines play on that map. I think the extra food can lean into defensive civs. We've seen it work for HRE, and I think we just saw another civ that benefits from that type of turtle format.